Welcome back. Welcome back to the Uprising Network. Am I straight? Let's see. Yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight as it's gonna be. Okay, y'all, man. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's see. How am I feeling? Let's start there. Okay, so over the last few weeks, I've been feeling like weighted, like a little heavier. Like I feel like I've something is pulling me in a different direction, and I usually just follow my intuition. Um, And if my intuition, wherever my intuition is guiding me, is usually where I follow. As a kid, my grandma told me, I remember one time she was like, always follow your first mind because that's God talking to you. Because, when you think about how many times you said, man, I should have followed my first mind. And ever since my grandma ever said that, I let my intuition carry me. I always follow my first mind, whatever feels good to me. Anywho, um, so I've been feeling this for a while, and it took me weeks to come to this conclusion that I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be and it's clicking for me. It feels like I'm locked in. It feels like I'm in a pocket. I'm in a creative pocket now where I'm entering a whole different space because things are happening. In 2019, I had filmed Gotta Eat, and it was the first time that I had put money into a production, and I was so proud of myself. Like, yo, I really took it from the basement into a production. I got 5 episodes done, and then I started selling Shop Through the merch a month after that, and then a month after that, I threw a party. And I knew going into 2020 that momentum was hitting. I'm like, all right, I'm bringing something new. The shows that I had done previously are starting to, slow down and, we started to, move on. It was time for a new era. Boom, COVID hit, sat me down. In that moment that I was feeling like I was headed towards 5 years ago, I feel like I finally got that momentum back. That's what it is. It's the confidence that, yo, you figured it, you thought you had it before, but now you really got it now. You really got it now. That's what that was weighing on me. And it's like I had to really kind of sit still to kind of be like, what is this? What is this? And it's that confidence. It's the ultimate green light that I have. I have literally no conscience. Whatever I feel like I touch, whatever I feel like I stamp the uprising on, like I have full confidence of it coming off the assembly line. That's what that feeling is right now. That is what uh, the best way to explain is what it's supposed to feel like as, for lack of a better phrase, a boss. It feels like nobody can get in your way. That's exactly what it is. Nobody can get in my way. I can do whatever. I know I say this and I believed it before, but it wasn't until I finally got that confirmation that my confidence is back at a 12 out of 10. Man, that feels good. That's what it is. I feel like I finally got my weight back. So I'm in that pocket. I'm locked in, family, friends. I know y'all probably don't even hear from me enough as it is, but I'm really locked in right now, and then I'm headed somewhere. I'm headed somewhere. Things are clicking. Things are clicking. Um, man, I'm looking forward to this weekend. There's a creator competition with Black Tech Fridays. Um, you can just look them up at Black Tech Fridays on Instagram and find out what it's about. And they're doing a creator competition where you come to the event, you basically you document what happened at the event, basically your own way through the lens of Black Tech Friday in Detroit. Now, with 8 years under the network, well, not even 8 years, I'm gonna say over. It's been about 14. It's 14 years now since I've been a videographer. I've called myself a videographer. 14 years now. And through all those 14 years, I've never competed in any kind of way. But in this case, I feel like I'm jumping in there to win it. I'm jumping in there to win it. I think I got a decent idea. I hope I can pull it off. And I say I hope I could pull it off because I just don't know what I'm getting into. I've never been to a Black Tech Fridays event before. So I don't really know what to expect when I get in there, but I already got a shot list in mind of what I want to do. And hopefully I can, check everything off of it. So I'm really looking forward to competing. And like I said, I'm jumping in it to win it. I'm jumping in to win it. It's a cash prize of first place $1,500, 3,000 overall. But it's like first place 1,500, second place 1,000, third place 500. So I'm jumping in it. Me and my creative partner. I don't even want to call her my intern no more. She's like I don't even on that level. She didn't grown past the intern, but she's a creative partner of mine now at the or with the network. So Elena gonna be there with me, and we gonna pull this off. We gonna pull this off. Um, so with that, also, man, and I just once I realized what that confidence and where I'm sitting at finally has developed, I started going back and just looking at old vlogs from think before I even do started Sincerely Yours, and just footage I've had of myself creating over the years and things that I did, and it's just I really reflect like I didn't let nothing stop me. I feel like now I'm really in the driver's seat. I feel like I I'm in the game. I'm really in the game. Um and that feels great. That feels good. I really I'm I'm at a whole different level than I've ever been before. And then maybe, in future episodes that I can maybe explain it a little bit better once I really understand it. But I feel like I feel like I unlocked a new power. I feel like I unlocked a new power. And also on top of that competition, you win a contract to shoot the digital tech summit, or I think it's called that digital tech. It's basically like a conference for creators, and so I'm looking forward to possibly winning that too. When I had to start my life over at one point, February 19th, or it might have been 17th. It was 17th or 19th of 2010. Is when I had to start my life over, and I had broke up with my first fiance. I had to move back into my parents' basement. Whole lot of stuff happened, but but the point is, I had like literally nothing when I started over. I was back in their basement. I started over. I had to go to Target. I applied, and I got a job at the Target that was up the street from my parents' house. And from there, trying to pick up the pieces, I needed to find myself. And I've always been a creator, low key. Low key, I've always been a creator. You know, so what I said to myself is like, all right, I want to start finally making music. My hoop dreams, those was long gone. That was my first love, playing basketball. And then it was like, all right, we're gonna try this music thing out. So we're gonna try this music thing out, see where it goes. Now, first thing I needed to do was, where are all the musicians at? Where are they at? So what I did was I grabbed the Metro Times. Grabbed the Metro Times, flipped through there. I'm like, I remember before I was even looking for this type of stuff, I remember seeing it in the Metro Times. So I'm like, I'm going to all the rap shows I see being advertised in Metro Times. And that's what I did. I ended up going to, I remember it was a memorable one, Red Cup Sessions. I think it was Red Cup Sessions. My memory is, man. Red Cup Sessions, and I was like, okay, this is the community that I need to be in. And I, started working on music, releasing it, and being part of that community, performing and all that. So that was like, all right, that's where it took off. And then I used those people that I learned from that and started the network with that. And those were all the people that I interviewed and had people coming through to do whatever. So now I'm in that space again. Now that I'm feeling like there's a new me, as confident as I am nowadays, it's time for me to go where the creator's at. It's time for me to go where the creator's at. And it's time for me to do the same thing that I did when I had to start my life over, and I needed an outlet to kind of make myself feel better, and that was music. So when I picked that Metro Times up, it's the same thing I gotta do now. So if I want to work with the creators or play in the field or just be in the mix. There we go. That's the phrase I was looking for. Be in the mix. I gotta go in the mix. I gotta go in the mix. And I'm looking forward to the new creative partners that, because I am going to attend more of those Black Tech Fridays, and it's like every time I wanted to go to one, it was always something happening. Unfortunately, something is happening this upcoming one. It's the last game of my son's soccer season. It'd be the first game that I miss with that, and then I also got something at my 9 to 5 that might have to be at that I ain't gonna be able to go to. So this is extremely important, and this is putting my foot in the water and being in the mix. You know, I'm very much so looking forward to it. I can walk in these rooms now and feel like, yo, I'm Barry Jennings of the Uprising Network. Whereas before, when I was really outside and in the mix, and even starting as a videographer, I would be like, yeah, how it is. You be a little, your confidence ain't there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the equipment that you really want to work with, or the equipment that you desire. Equipment, like, bro, I got whatever I need at this point. I got whatever I need, and I got some more stuff coming fairly soon. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, and as I did rewind and I look over the years of how I going through on this journey, and there's some things that I kind of want to reiterate. I took some notes of it. Let me pull them up real quick. Just some reminders uh, that I kind of want to talk about on this platform that I might have talked about it before on Instagram or something, but never in this format like this. So give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. The rules constantly are going to change. They change so much that it's hard to keep up with it. And I'm at the point now where I don't even care about the rules. I don't even care about the rules. Like at one point, I remember it was like, you gotta keep up with this algorithm. And it's like certain times of the day where it's best to drop during this time because, this is where all your followers is on during these peak hours is the best time. Then you come to find out, man, all that was fake. All of it was fake. Instagram gonna show you what they want to show you regardless. Why is it that it's currently, I'm recording this on Wednesday. Why am I still seeing posts from Mother's Day on my timeline? Instagram, Facebook, one and the same. All these platforms, bro. Maybe not YouTube because I like YouTube and I like Twitter. Why do I like both? Because things are happening in real time in the moment. The rules are constantly going to change, and it's not fair. It's not fair. That's something that I've learned to live with. You can complain about it all the time, but these digital rules. This what I'm talking about is the digital rules of online. I even saw as recent as Instagram saying that, yeah, if the quality of your videos aren't up to a specific level, then it's gonna fall back on the back burner of videos that we show your timeline. And I'm like, then you got for you page when things that I don't even want to keep up with is always presented as for you. The rules are always going to change. When I started, man, bro, there was no Instagram. Then when Instagram came, it was only for iPhone users. I had an iPhone, so that didn't matter. Then video was introduced, square only, 15 seconds, or horizontal videos, 15 seconds. Then it became a minute. Then it became an hour. Then I've seen videos on there a couple hours. Then you got to constantly adjust. The rules are always going to change. And also, like when I started, bro, we did not see the world vertically. We did not see the world vertically. If anything, we turned our phones to watch things vertically. Now everything is presented in a scrolling form, and everything has to be presented in this way. I don't like that, bro. But the rules are always going to constantly change, and that's just something you got to learn to deal with. You got to tuck your ego. You got to be okay with not being recognized. Yeah, you're gonna see some work that you be like, man, my stuff better than theirs. Or mine is more original. You're gonna see, or you're gonna be like, yo, my colors is hitting way better. I'm just speaking from my perspective. You're gonna think all those things, And all those years that go by and you just keep putting up jump shots. Just keep working. You gotta learn to love your work first. I am my biggest critic, but I am also my biggest fan. I'm my biggest fan. I think my work is amazing. Especially where I'm at right now. I go back and I look at some of my old stuff and I thought, even back then when I look at some of my old stuff, I cringe a little bit. But at the time I thought I was like that. Even though I knew I had a lot to learn, I still got a lot to learn, but I knew I had a lot to learn back then, but I still felt like I was like that. And as long as I felt like I was like that, I didn't care what nobody else had to say. I'm still very much like that to this day. If I like it, it's going out. Now there are times where I reach out to other people and have people take a look at it and, give their critique. But usually if I like it, that stamp going on there is going out. You got to be okay with not being recognized. That's going to really stunt your growth when you looking at everybody else get their plate before you get yours. You go to a restaurant, you know what that feel like when you at a restaurant, you feel like, dang, I got here before him or I got here before her and they getting their place before me. Man, when is it going to be my turn? Just be patient. Just be patient. I know that's so cliche. That's crazy to say, but I've been there. I'm still there, but I've really been there. Trust me on this, man. It's going to get real lonely. And it's going to get lonely because of the decisions that you got to make. And those are sacrifices. Them sacrifices that you got to make is what's going to make it feel super lonely. As I said, I was looking at some of this old footage that I had from over the years. And I think about all the people that I used to hang with and all the people that I wanted to bring along, like up to my years and years ago, before I kind of became a lone wolf, if you will. And it's like, dang, bro, these are all the people that I tried to bring along as far as help. I'm gonna even post a clip where I'm like, yo, this is getting overwhelming. That was just with the music. It was like, yo, this is getting real overwhelming. I need help. And this is when I felt like things were clicking. I don't know, I wasn't gonna ever get signed as a musician, but when things start to feel real and I start to ask for help, anywho, I'm digressing. But the sacrifices you're gonna have to make. If you're a shopper or a sneakerhead like I used to be, if you used to hang out all the time and you found yourself every single weekend you wanted to find something to do, that go out too. Cause it's like, yo, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Don't get me wrong. Have your fun. But don't let that fun have you. If you know what I mean. Them sacrifices you're gonna make will take you a long way. I remember a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, way back in like 2010. This is like 10, 11. And I vividly remember him saying to me, "We gonna see in 10 years who was working. We gonna see who stays solid and locked in for 10 years." And I see it. All them people that along the way where I felt like they was working too, and it's like I finally get to a point where a lot of people that I started with, non-existent. Gone. They don't create no more. They done started families. They don't do whatever they used to do. And it slowed down tremendously, fell off the grid. And it's like, yo, not to say that real life didn't happen, because real life has happened to me too on multiple occasions. I've had to start over. I've had situations where my real life I was drowning so much in my real life that I couldn't create. So I've been there too. And I'm very empathetic about that. Like some people don't survive that when you drown in real life. But all them sacrifices you gonna make when it's come to money, hanging out, spending time, the free time with your friends. Not to say you're gonna miss like family birthdays and nothing like that. Yeah, of course you got a level of importance, but when you are locked in, when you feel that lightning rod hit you, you know what I mean to when that's like, yo, them sacrifices you gonna have to make. I done made a lot of sacrifices. I'm still making sacrifices to this day, and I'm still holding on. Them days where I feel like I fall off, I take a day off. Matter of fact, today I took off from work because I just needed to get some sleep. Because I sacrificed 2 days previously, staying up all night, working on something, doing some research for it happened in Detroit specifically. And the Uprising shop. I got a few drops that I want to do this summer. I sacrificed my free time. It felt like, damn, what I had found like my wife by now, if I didn't have all this, now I've been engaged twice, so I'm gonna say that. But would I have found my wife by now if I didn't, if I wasn't so passionate? I feel like a lot of times that's the only thing that I'm missing. I feel like I'm like a life partner. You know, it's been over 5 years, and it's gonna be hard. You like if a woman come in my life, you know, not to say that my work become before her or anything like that, but it's kind of gonna be like double dutch for sure. You're gonna have to jump in with me, and I jump in with you too. Whatever you got going on, when I'm with you, I'm with you. I think I've proven that. Like you look at the history of the network, mostly women. When I'm locked in with you, I'm locked in with you. I'm not just women, but people in general. But when I'm locked in, we on. And when it don't work no more, it don't work no more. But that's just, I do think about that. Like the days where that time period before when I was doing music videos and when I came up with the idea of the network it's about a year and a half, 2 year time frame. All I did was go to work, be a dad, play 2K. That's it. I didn't have really no care in the world, no. I mean, I still kept up with the interest as far as like the film industry and things like that, but I didn't. It takes money to make money. A prime example is how I take my productions from out of the basement or out of borrowing somebody's space for an hour here and there. Is you got to put your money where your mouth is. If you really believe in this, that also goes back to the sacrifices that I'm talking about. All the extras, if you believe, my battery just went out, y'all, on my light. So that's the end of today's episode. I might not even drop this all the way, but this is so crazy. Um, that's all I got, man. Please subscribe to the Uprising Network. Please like, subscribe. I am also announcing the casting of some more episodes very soon, so please be aware of that. Thanks for watching.